As we watch a nervous coach Bill Parcells. First downs heavily for the Chargers. Rushing yardage, total yardage again off to a big 250-yard, 56-yard, and that's a considerable edge, although the Giants did a good job of generating the passing yardage with two very big plays. A shot to Gray and shot to Danny Pittman.
It rained in the first quarter. Still heavy skies, but very pleasant evening in East Rutherford. Comes to Pittman at the 8. Danny Pittman, who scored the touchdown at the end of the first half. And Bruce Laird chases him down along with Bobby Duckworth. And the Giants will start from just about their 27-yard line. Let's reintroduce that Giant offense. Scott Brunner at quarterback. Rob Carpenter checked very well by otherwise generous San Diego defense. Butch Wofolk, he was shaken late in that second quarter. We'll see how healthy he is. Ernest Gray, a touchdown maker. He comes out wide to the left. Missler slotted left. Mulledy tight end on the right side. It's Carpenter behind Brunner. And Brunner comes out throwing. Goes to Wolford. Tried to put a little move on, but there was no area to operate. He's to the 31-yard line and a gain of 4. Keith Ferguson, 76, made the tackle. Lyndon King was there as well. Ferguson, who is very light as defensive linemen go these days, at 6'5" and 241 from Ohio State.
5 rookies operating in that defense. Elko at the nose, the 2 linebackers, Green and Smith. We've got one of the rookies, both rookies on the corner, Bird and Walters.
Plenty of time. Wide open is Gray. 35. Out of bounds at the 40. Walters pushed him out of bounds. It's a first down, Giants. 15 yards on the play for Gray, who also has a touchdown in this game.
Chargers have to feel snake bit, Dick. They came in hoping they could cover the loss of Tim Fox. Bob Greger had to leave the game, and of course, shuffling safeties that way creates problems, creates mistakes.
Plus Elko playing with Ackerman and Big Louis Kelcher, both out with injuries. Carpenter. That's his best run of the game, about 7 yards out to the 47-yard line. Billy Ray Smith, 54, the rookie from Arkansas, made the tackle.
Get a quick peek at this as Carpenter fakes to his left, comes back to his right. Good blocking by his offensive line. Gets outside, takes a couple of shots. There's somebody who'd like to have a uniform on today too, Dick.
Tim Fox, he probably would have been in on that tackle. Former star at Ohio State. Second down and 3. Brunner going long. He's got a man, Wolford. But Bruce Laird picked him up as the pass seemed to die. Laird, number 30, in for the injured Bob Greger. So both starting safeties from last week for San Diego, Tim Fox and Bob Greger, sidelined. Fox with a fracture. He'll be out for at least a month. And Greger was injured in the first quarter.
Jim Wagstaff, the defensive backfield coach of the Chargers, would love to have those 2 veterans back there to help the 2 rookies on the corner. But now he's got a couple of relatively inexperienced players in there, at least in terms of the last few games anyway.
Third down, a short 4. And there it is to Missler. Andre Young made the tackle at the 44-yard line. Young, one of those reserves, seeing duty with all of the injuries. He's from Louisiana Tech.
Number 85, Johnny Missler. He's the guy they'd like to get it to in the control situation. Tight pattern here. Finds the opening in the defense. Number 49, Andre Young, gets there, but not until he's found himself room for the first down.
Looked like a late hit from Carlos Bradley, number 50. First down inside the Charger 45. Giants trail by 10, just starting the second half. Missler again. Hit hard, but holds on to the football as Woody Lowe, Mike Green, Danny Walters all in on the stop.
A bad equation for the Chargers, Dick. They're not getting any pressure at all on the quarterback. Scott sitting back there and picking them apart. No pressure coming from Elko in the middle. Handled one-on-one by the center, Humphrey. Leroy Jones, the first one to get there, but not until the ball is delivered and delivered on target by Brunner.
Second down 2. close to a first down. With the dive goes Wolford. And it is a first down for the Giants, and this crowd getting into the game.
Well, they feel the pulse beginning to pound for these Giants. Rob Carpenter, number 26, not only carries the football, he has to block too, throwing himself at the legs of Bill Elko, number 90, doing a good job of keeping him out of the center. Watch Elko fighting off Humphrey, only to find himself on the ground after the block by Carpenter.
First down at the San Diego 33. Brunner down the middle. Terrific attempt by Missler, who juggled the ball, had it on his fingertips, could not pull it in, as he had beaten Danny Walters.
You can feel as if you're, well, maybe we can recruit you to play in the backfield for the Chargers defense. Walters making a tough choice, going for the interception. A bad choice, as it turned out. He's lucky it wasn't a reception.
That has been his problem in the first 4 games with the Chargers. He's a gifted athlete, and he has a couple of interceptions. But if you always go for the ball, you're going to be beaten, and he very nearly was by Missler. Let's watch it from the end zone. Carpenter draws. And right into the arms of Bill Elko. He is the nephew. His uncle is Frank Cush, a happy coach right now, the Baltimore Colts, after winning 3rd game of 5 tries this year. Elko went to Arizona State when Cush was fired. He then transferred to LSU. He's collected rattlesnakes barehanded, wrestled with alligators. There was a little accident and some damage. The car tried to run away. Someone said, "Get the license number." So Elko ran and ripped off the license plate. He's quite a character.
Now he ripped off Rob Carpenter on that play, stopped him for a little gain. In fact, a little bit of a loss there.
3rd down 11 at the 35. Going long and wide open. Interference. Andre Young. Mike Miller was the intended receiver. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2.
Mike Miller, a real flyer.
Defensive pass interference. 49. First down.
Had gotten past the secondary. Andre Young closing, makes no attempt to play the ball. The contact well before the arrival of the football. Good call by the officials. The ball placed down on the 2-yard line, 1st and goal.
The Giants just 2 yards away from cutting the San Diego lead to 3. Carpenter, the only running back. He gets the call. Dropped just shy of the goal line by big Leroy Jones. Activated a couple of weeks ago, and he and Carpenter exchanged pleasantries. Other games late today in the NFL. New Orleans leading Miami 10-0 in the 3rd. The Rams have a 4-point lead at home against the Lions in the 3rd quarter, and it's Kansas City by 7 over St. Louis in the 3rd. Here it's 27-17. 2nd and goal at the 1. The Giants trailing by 10. He did not get in. Good penetration by the Charger defense, and Carpenter is dropped just shy of the goal line.
Scott Brunner signaling to the sideline about a foot away. Big 78 Chuck Ian, one of the defenders, separating hard in there. And it's the Chargers who are trying to rise up here and stop this goal line penetration by the Giants. A little bit of nervousness on the Giants sideline.
Bill Parcells. Both Carpenter and Wolford in the backfield in the eye. Wolford. And he didn't make it, as Billy Ray Smith was one of the early men in on the hit, number 54. Boy, that'll make Papa proud. That's the kind of goal line defensive work he used to do with the Colts.
And you hear the crowd. They want to know what Bill Parcells is going to do, and he's going to go for it. 4th down, half a yard to go. This is a big payoff down, Dick.
The Chargers, who have not been able to stop the run effectively in the first 4 games, and they've stopped the Giants on 3 tries from the 2, and now the critical showdown, 4th and goal from the foot line. Charger that they ran over is not up yet. Appears to be a cramp.
Carpenter hammering in behind Gordon King, that right tackle. They went in several times before they were able to get the yardage. Up close, you'll feel the contact on this one as Carpenter goes up and over the top. 58, Mike Green, the man who had a hold of his legs, but he's in the end zone.
The interference call setting it up at the 2, and on the 4th crack from the 2-yard line, Carpenter diving in for the score.
How did Bill Parcells feel about this crucial 4th down? I guess that's what he expected. He's shaking his head. This game has not gone in the way he thought it would from beginning to end.
Remember Rob Carpenter in that game against San Diego 4 years ago, the playoff 79, when Campbell was hurt and the Houston Oilers seemed to have no chance. Carpenter, literally dragging himself on and off the field, scored the winning touchdown to get the Oilers advanced in the playoffs.
Dick, I saw him in the lobby of the hotel the night before that game. He was on crutches. He said he didn't know he could play. He went out and led his Oiler team to a victory over the Chargers. That's the last time these two teams played, and certainly one of the guttiest performances I've ever seen from a running back. He told me his ankle is not yet healed from that particular incident.
Now Haji Sheikh with the extra point. The injured player was Bruce Laird of the Chargers. He left under his own power. Kick is good. And the Giants, trailing throughout as much as 20-3, have pulled within a field goal. It's 27-24, 8 minutes, 49 seconds left, third quarter. Tim Fox on crutches. Bruce Laird, we don't know how serious is his injury, but the Charger defense, deep defense, has been decimated by injury. Haji Sheikh. This crowd is really back into the game. James Brooks at the 6 for San Diego. He's at the 20. A flag is down. And Brooks is tackled at the 25. And the Chargers have a holding penalty. They'll have to start back at their 10-yard line. And listen to this crowd.
This is when it pays off to be playing at home, Dick. You can feed off the energy of a crowd like this.
Now the penalty takes it back to the 10, and Gene Barth will announce the culprit.
We thought he would.
He's not going to be heard without a microphone over this din. Laird, as we had suspected, had leg cramps and is okay. He will be back. Now Dan Fouts, he is the quarterback, starting the second half. First possession for the Chargers. He comes out throwing. His first interception of this year, as he has the ball now deep in San Diego territory. The Giants have not led in this game.
A question of how long Dan Fouts would be able to hold up a pass that's just a little too low. Had that been an inch or two higher, it might well have been a reception.
First down from the 18. Carpenter greeted in the backfield as Keith Ferguson and Elko were in together, dropping Carpenter for a rare loss near the 20. It'll be second down and about 13. 27-24. San Diego's lead, 117 points, is down to 3.
Dick, the last 5 possessions going back and forth up down the field have resulted in touchdowns. Wow.
We've had 5 touchdowns in little less than a quarter's time. Brunner looking for 6 and had to throw that one away as pressure coming from Keith Ferguson. 7 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Third down, Giants. Let's go to NFL 83.
Thanks, Dick Enberg. Len Berman in New York. Here's Dan Marino in the shotgun from Miami in New Orleans. As he's hit, the ball pops up, picked off by Reggie Lewis. Another score for the Saints. They lead 17-0 late third quarter. Back to Dick and Merlin.
And it's got to be plenty of noise in the Superdome, as there is here at Giant Stadium. Third down, 13. Brunner goes short. It is the tight end Mulledy, number 81, finally dragged down by Billy Ray Smith, shy of the first down. And Haji Sheik on fourth down will come in to try to tie it up for the Giants. And they start chanting, Ali, Ali. Kid from Michigan has won the favor of a very tough audience.
Well, he certainly has. Hasn't missed since his first try against the Rams, a rather shaky start. This young man has adapted well. Proved himself to be a real pro.
He really snaps into the ball.
He really does. He got a tremendous action, a lot of power at the bottom of that swing.
Well, remember, the Chargers tried a fake field goal in about this spot in the first half. 30 yards away. We have a new game. And a flag down. Now let's see. Will the Giants take the 3, or will they take the penalty and a first down?
Personal foul. There may be a choice here. Now, do you take the points off the board and go for the touchdown? Depends on whether it was before the kick or after. Let's let the officials sort it out down there, but Parcells may have a choice to make here.
Officially, the 29-yard field goal is good if it appeared they ran into the kicker. Mr. Gene Barth is going to mark off the penalty and a first down, and the Giants will swallow the 3. They want the lead, and the crowd loves it. Obviously, the mic of Gene Barth is not functioning.
Personal foul, automatic first down, roughing. You'll see it coming from the other side, and it's a roughing penalty right there by Gil Bird on Ali Haji Sheik. Better shot. Number 22 coming from the top of your screen. Right there, knocks the kicker off his feet.
Actually, it was blocked into the kicker. The Chargers could argue that should not have been a penalty. We'll save that and show it again. Fumble. And who's got it? A pile up, and the Chargers say they've recovered.
Number 90.
Oh, up jumps the devil. They gambled. They had the 7 and then crapped out on the fumble on the next play.
There are coaches, Dick Enberg, there are coaches in the league, coaches around the country who say you never take those short points off the board. You leave them up. Parcells elected to gamble, go for the 7, and the ball ends up in the possession of the San Diego Chargers.
Well, the rattlesnake catcher from Pennsylvania, Elko, just captured the ball, and San Diego still has. Here's the field goal penalty again. Watch Bird, top of your screen. Does Pelt block him into, there's the contact. He actually blocks him into Haji Sheik. Probably wasn't a penalty, and as it turns out, it penalizes the Giants because then they went for the 7 and gave up the 3. Fouts can't find Joyner. Ball at the 8-yard line after the 4th fumble recovery by the Chargers. That defense trying to collect its thoughts.
They're trying to figure out who's going to go in and play if somebody else gets hurt. Chuck Weber, blonde-haired coach at the back of that huddle. Coaches, linebackers trying to get those troops together. I figure they've still got the lead on the board by 3. They've got the ball. They've got to keep their act together and keep it moving.
Yeah, they've got an eternity to protect it, though. 6:48 left in the third quarter. Chandler at about the 17 appeared to be short of a first down, and Fouts at his 1-yard line being surrounded by Giants. And the fans now boo on the spot of the ball. They feel too generous, and indeed is enough for a first down, 10 yards on the throw.
2 of the plays that we don't associate toughness with, quarterback and wide receiver. And this team has some people who will defy that. One of them right there, 14 Dan Fouts. The other one, this man, 89 Wes Chandler. Last week took a shot in the face, a couple of broken teeth, came right back and caught the football, stitches and all. He's doing it here again today.
Fouts back to the air to Joyner, and that one in part thrown away. There just wasn't an open man. Fouts, the all-time NFL record holder in 300-yard games. He comes into this contest with 33 of those. And thus far in the game, total yardage for Dan Fouts is about 85 yards shy of another 300-yard day.
We've allowed you to sit with our end zone camera a little bit during this game. Let's see if we can't enjoy the battle going on between the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman.
Well, not on that play, as there was movement before the snap. Illegal procedure, both technically with a microphone and with a Charger offensive line. That's 2 out of 2 microphones for Gene Barth, both broken. Don Coryell wondering.
Still not working. Maybe we can climb back in those end zone positions and look at that protection that is so crucial to a passing attack. And Fouts getting great protection today, as has Scott Brunner from that big offensive line of his.
Saints trying to hang one on Miami, 17-0. 2nd and 15 for Fouts to Muncy. And he's knocked out of bounds. Good lateral pursuit. Andy Hedden, number 54, good-looking rookie, 8th-round draft pick from Clemson. The number 1 pick for the Giants was also from Clemson, Terry Kennard. But Kennard, a bit of a disappointment, but not Hedden. He's tall, rangy, strong, 6'5", 230, good man on pass situations.
Lawrence Taylor also pursuing from the backside, something he does very well, but not able to catch Muncy. Hedden took the short route. He got there.
3rd down, 5 at the 24. Fouts had a man open, but George Martin, who leads the Giants in sacks, his former college teammate, crushes Fouts, and he's hurt again. Martin, 75, made the play.
It's his right hand. It's the thumb that's bothering him now. Boy, I tell you, you want to talk about operating under a handicap. Not only with all those guys in the blue shirts chasing you and trying to get a hold of you, right there, they stripped it out of his hand. Martin from the backside grabs his wrist. Watch Martin reach in over the back here. Fouts will start the forward motion right there. Caught him by the hand. You saw what happened to the ball.
Maury Buford, his first punt, and he scuffs it. Takes a bounce, however, for San Diego. Leon Bright finally says, I'm not even going to touch that thing, and it's down by the Chargers at the 19-yard line. So Buford, when it left his foot, unhappy, a bad kick, but he got a generous roll, and it results in a 57-yard punt. No return. Well, Fouts return. San Diego leads by only 3, and the Giants have the ball. 5:35 left. Back at Giant Stadium, Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. When the Chargers play, you figure to get a lot of points. So it is today, 27-24. The key is, can you play defensive halfback? They're looking up here at you down at the Charger
I
bench.
want to tell you, the way things are going, they're going to recruit anybody. Even guys on crutches don't have a chance. They may put uniforms on them and send them in. But I think the crucial thing now is, can the Chargers secondary hold up? Scott Brunner will challenge them here.
Giants start trailing by 3 from their 19. Brunner goes to the air, and there's Missler. He has a first down at the 32. The San Diego defense with 5 rookies. Bill Elko in the line. 2 linebackers, Smith and Green. 2 cornerbacks, Bird and Walters. They have not been able to stop the opposition, averaging 30 points allowed per game in the first 4. And the Giants have 24 already today, and we're in the third quarter, 5 minutes left. 14 yards on that last throw by Brunner. The middle to Missler. And Missler was open. Pass a little too long at the San Diego 45. Uh-oh, Dan Fouts, and got the jersey and the pads off.
That's the right shoulder. Now, you saw them swinging Fouts' shoulder over the top earlier. It's possible that on one of those early plays, and I think it was in the first half, he may have slightly separated that right shoulder. Now, that's the kind of an injury that you would see the shoulder taking the ice. Fouts obviously in pain.
Ed Luther, they say he's a good quarterback. We're about to find out.
Yeah, we are. Something else we're going to find out about him momentarily. Brunner with all day, almost intercepted by Danny Walters, and he
he would have had a touchdown as Brunner pumping and took a little too long to get rid of it, and Walters timed his move perfectly.
You talk about injuries, Dick. San Diego has not only got problems with Fouts, but this week in practice, Luther sprained his right foot. So he's operating under a handicap, too. There's been very little said about it, but he was injured. And, of course, they were hoping they wouldn't have to go to the young man.
Luther.
Last opportunity to show his stuff in a regular season game, 1982.
Last year, he gets all of his work in the preseason, then Fouts takes the reins. Third down and 10. And Brunner misfires to Woolfolk. Threw behind him, and the Chargers are going to get the ball. One of the rare times the Giants offense has been stopped today. And Dave Jennings, only the second time he has punted in the game, comes in.
Giants, again, as we said, have been out of character throughout this day. They are a running team. They've been constructed to run the football primarily behind Rob Carpenter. Here today, they've operated as a passing team, trying to take advantage of the injuries to the San Diego defense.
First punt was 32 yards for Jennings. Only Brooks is back at the San Diego 24. End over end and short. No fair catch. Almost hit one of the Chargers downfield, and the Giants down it at the 33. Jennings not happy. He's going to be cheering for Carlton Fisk. Fisk, a distant cousin, playing in the baseball playoffs here on NBC, and we'll be back at Giants. And Dan Fouts, he started his 65th consecutive game today, a durable quarterback, but he is out for the rest of this one for that shoulder injury. We don't know how serious. And Ed Luther, in his 3 years with the Chargers, has thrown the ball only 22 times in regulation play. He comes out throwing and guns it complete. Eric Sievers at the 41-yard line. Luther, who was 11 for 22 in his 3 years of relief with the Chargers, 3 interceptions, no career touchdowns, but they feel they've got a good one. In fact, Luther is really frustrated by the fact he's playing behind Fouts, and Fouts has just signed a 6-year contract. What does the reserve do?
Well, if beginnings mean anything, he started it out right with a completion. A ball thrown right on target. And Dick, there goes Dan Fouts to the locker room. I imagine they're going to x-ray that shoulder and check it out.
And listen to the hand by the Giants fans. Sportsmanlike as they, and there's the fumble. And Ed White is able to fall on it and try to get up. But White says, wait a minute, maybe I don't want to run with it. Fouts, that long walk to the locker room. One of the NFL greats, and hopefully not seriously hurt.
We certainly would hope that he's not injured. This is one of the things that can happen to a young quarterback going into the game. He's so anxious to get going. He wants to pull out of there before the ball arrives. You see it right there. He started back. Luckily for him, Ed White was dropping back in pass protection, and White is trying to make like a halfback.
He gained a yard.
Gained a yard.
Third down, 3 for Ed Luther from San Jose State. 6'3" and 210. Great throw to Muncy, 50, 40, and Muncy is out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and a penalty flag on the Giants for a tackle out of bounds. And Luther, as he was going to be hammered by Brad Van Pelt, with a perfect throw leading his halfback, Muncy, upfield.
Mike Dennis and Beasley Reese both in there late. Don't know which one was ticketed. Give them a chance to make the call. But, Dick, two things happen. When you have a number 2 quarterback go into the game, and it's almost instantaneous. The first thing that happens, the offensive players and the defensive players suck it up a little bit. Let's see if the microphone is working here. No, still not working. The second thing that happens, Dick, is that very often the defense lets down. And it's almost a strange phenomenon. You see it happen again and again and again. But what a great throw by Luther. He doesn't need a letdown by the defense. And there's the shot right there. Mike Dennis, 46, the one that hit him.
So after the penalty, first down at the 25, Luther to Winslow. And Winslow is inside the 15. So Ed Luther replacing All-Pro Dan Fouts comes out 3 for 3 passing. And has used 3 different targets and has a first down inside the Giant 15.
Well, this young man has had the reputation for a long while of being perhaps the best backup quarterback in the NFL. And as we said, because of Fouts' durability, has not had many chances to show his stuff. But when he has been able to play, he has played effectively.
And it didn't appear that foot bothered him on that rollout. He's 4 for 4. Muncy knocked out of bounds. No gain. Somebody losing a shoe blocking out in front. Ed White lost his left shoe.
Talking to San Diego coaches about L.T. Taylor, number 56, and they said the thing that astounds them about him is the way he gets away from blockers. You saw it there, leaping over the top of the blocker. I believe it was Eric Sievers, 85. They said he has a great motor. He never stops. He plays every play at full intensity.
237 pounds. Watching him throw the football yesterday in practice, he can throw the ball 70 yards. He's just a great athlete with tremendous desire. 2nd and 11. Had both Joyner and Chandler in the same area and may have thrown the ball just a bit too soon. That's the first incomplete pass thrown by Luther. We have 2:07 left third quarter. Chargers 27, Giants 24.
And you sense in this quick drive by the Chargers an opportunity perhaps to quiet this crowd and maybe to take some of the wind and some of the enthusiasm out of the Giants. They need to get some points on the board to do it.
Mark Wilson was the top quarterback drafted back in 1980. Luther was a 4th round pick, the first choice for San Diego. 3rd and 11. Timeout called by Kellen Winslow. That was interesting. Winslow, now in the old days, they would not have been able to call time, but now anyone on the field can call a timeout. Winslow said we're in the wrong formation. He wanted to keep Luther out of trouble. We'll be right back. 6-year-old Ed Luther in relief. Injured Dan Fouts. Should Luther be hurt, 3rd-string quarterback Bruce Matheson, a rookie from Nebraska. He threw the ball only 33 times for the Cornhuskers. He was a 10th-round pick. This is 3rd and 11. They're coming. And wide open is Joyner. And that's going to be close to a first down as Joyner takes a pop from Bill Courier, and it appears that's going to be good enough for a first down. And you had to say this about Luther. He's seeing a lot of blue jerseys charging in on him, maintaining his poise.
But let's give some credit to the old pro, Charlie Joyner. Look at the way he goes up and takes this pass slightly underthrown and protects it with his body. Took a great shot from Courier, would not give up the football, had the first down. They put in the troops again. They're going to try and punch it in. Boy, this touchdown would be a big shot in the arm for the Chargers.
3rd catch today for Joyner, 18th of this year. 1st and goal. Muncy. Touchdown. And Muncy appears to be shaken. So Chuck Muncy, his 2nd touchdown rushing today, is 36th as a Charger, and San Diego builds its lead back up to 9, and Brunner in to try the extra point. Well, that was a most impressive drive by young Ed Luther.
And again, I think, Dick, the feeling, the sense of what can happen to a team when a number 2 quarterback goes in the game. The Chargers suck it up. You see it here. Watch Kellen Winslow, number 80, is going to block on this play. Absolutely nails Mark Haynes. Takes him 7 yards into the backfield and puts him on the ground.
Benerska's kick is good, and Ed Luther, in his most serious opportunity to perform in the NFL in 4 years, comes off the bench, 66 yards. This is the 8th play, 2 yards by Muncy for a touchdown, and San Diego leads the Giants 34-24.
Muncy absolutely lowering his shoulder and going right over the top of number 28, Beasley Reese, carrying him into the end zone.
Well, he used all of his weapons. Joyner and Winslow and Sievers.
And Ed White, number 67, is a running back there one time.
That was a key play. The one mistake he made was covered by Ed White as it took a San Diego bounce right into the guard's hand. Well, great day of football. A doubleheader today on NBC was outstanding. We hope you've enjoyed it. Next week we have for you the Jets at Cleveland. Buffalo plays Miami. Denver at Houston. Other games, New England at Baltimore, and the late game, Seattle at San Diego. And of course, you'll also be enjoying, if the playoff series in baseball goes 5 games, we'll have that for you as well. So it could be a very big weekend of sports on NBC again. Well, that Baltimore club, they're 3-2 and going to be a factor apparently.
All the folks who laughed at Frank Kush may have to do some reevaluating here.
Rolf Brunner kicks it off. Leon Bright is deep. It goes to Pittman at the 1. Whoa! Pittman, with flags down, is out to the 25-yard line, and Ray Preston makes another tackle on special teams for San Diego.
Number 55, Derry Nelson, went down there and just plowed into Leon Bright and drove Bright right into the ball carrier.
Holding against the Giants, so they'll start deep in their own end as Luther, he's calling short distance.
Chance for you to see this special teams play. Watch Derry Nelson, 55, right over the top of Leon Bright and drives him right into Pittman, stopping the runner right there. Preston finally coming over to finish off the tackle.
Run back. First down. Gene Barth, the equipment's working now, the referee. So he calls the 10-yard penalty. Derry Nelson, the linebacker, he's checking out the phones. First down, Giants at the 15.
I'm sure getting some congratulations on that big play.
Brunner to Woolfolk. Well read by Jones, but he breaks that tackle and then is tackled forward to the 17-yard line by Keith Ferguson. Also into the play was Bruce Laird. Well, baseball coming up Tuesday night. It opens the National League Championship Series. Philadelphia will be at Los Angeles. Then on Wednesday afternoon, the American League will start as Baltimore hosts the White Sox. So stay with us throughout the coming week. The American and National League Championship Series on NBC. Don Coryell's Chargers leading here against the Giants 34-24. 20 seconds left, third quarter. Woolfolk hit immediately by Mike Green. Young man from Oklahoma State has played another solid game. He certainly is a sure tackler.
He is a good tackler. And boy, the defense has a tremendous amount of pressure. Injuries have forced them to use a lot of people who have not played a great deal, and they've done a good job.
And the third quarter comes to an end here in East Rutherford. At the end of the third period, the score, San Diego 34, the Giants 24. Be back after these messages. We go to the fourth quarter at Giant Stadium, and today's game is brought to you by Jeep Cherokee and Jeep Wagoneer. When it comes to four-wheel drive, one word says it all, Jeep. By MCI Mail, the nation's new postal system. And by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. Well, the Giants, most points they had allowed in their first 4 games, 28 to Dallas. And you'll recall that was a 14-13 game, and a pass interception and a fumble got the Cowboys 14 points in 12 seconds. But they've allowed 34 today to San Diego and find themselves down by 10 as we open the fourth period. It's third down and 3. Elko, little toe dance, and it'll be a first down for Brunner, and the Giants, as Missler has the catch at the 30-yard line. Brunner is out past the Chargers so far. Let's go to NFL 83.
Okay, thank you, Dick Enberg. And in New Orleans, the blitz is on against rookie Dan Marino. He reads it and hits Mark Duper. 4 minutes left. Miami has the ball back. They still trail by 10. Back to the Meadowlands.
From Phillips Saint showing that they are a serious contender this year. Brunner on first down goes the other way, and Ernest Gray is open. Woody Law makes the tackle at the 37-yard line. An awkward catch by Gray, and he's slow getting up.
Dick, just an indication of the kind of, we said that the Giants are out of character today. Well, they've gotten just 32 yards rushing on the year. They've averaged 154 yards rushing per game, and yet their passing attack has just been devastating today. Not the trademark of the Bill Parcells team.
Brunner has thrown for 280 yards. San Diego for only 262. Only. Now Brunner's had plenty of time to work on that back pedal. And he is short of the first down at the 39-yard line. A yard shy of the first down. Elko trailing the play made the tackle. Other scores, game still in progress. New Orleans, as you just heard on NFL 83, and Len Berman 17-7 leader in the fourth quarter. Rams holding on to that 4-point advantage in the fourth period out in Anaheim. And it's Kansas City now winning big against St. Louis. The Chiefs certainly have been an up and down team. Knocked out last week, but coming back today. Don Coryell's team. They're 1-3 at the start. The Giants, in Bill Parcells' terminology, we've been in the pack too long. Not the worst teams, but not in the high echelon either. We want to get out of the pack, and a win today to make us 3-2 gives us a chance to shove forward and really be a serious playoff contender. They trail by 10. The Chargers, desperate, don't want to go to 1-4. It'll be a first down to the 41-yard line, and you could hear the pads pop as Carpenter absorbed a 3-man defensive charge. Chuck Ian, number 78. Ken Green, 28, in on the tackle. 1 o'clock finals today. Some of you have been just getting back from perhaps a Sunday around this country. Perhaps missed a great one on NBC. The Redskins beating the Raiders 37-35. It was the Bears over Denver 31-14. Dallas came from behind at Minnesota to win 37-24. Houston had a lead at Pittsburgh, but the Steelers prevailed 17-10, and it was Seattle winning in Cleveland 24-9. First down, screen, Wolford. And he's dropped at the 49-yard line. Good tackle by Andre Young, and that's close to another Giant first down. 9 more yards. Brunner to Wolford. The rest of the finals played earlier today in the National Football League. San Francisco winning by 20 at New England. Philadelphia 28-24 at Atlanta. Baltimore 34, Cincinnati 31, and that game was in Cincinnati. Baltimore's 3-2. And Tampa Bay still looking for a win, and they were smothered by Green Bay 55-14 in the game, which the Packers scored 49 points, an NFL record in the first half. 2nd and 1. All day for Brunner. And Ernest Gray has a first down at the 21. Andre Young made the tackle. 30 more yards for Brunner. He's over the 300-yard mark.
It's simply a bad equation for the Charger defense. With a patched-up secondary, you can't give any quarterback as much time as they've been giving Brunner. Brunner able to take that opportunity to throw it to his number 1 deep threat, Ernest Gray. Watch it right here. Right down the center, finding the open turf. Andre Young finally chasing him down, but that's a big play down on the 21-yard line.
58 points scored in this game. They're obviously not through yet. Ball at the 21, first down Giants. Trailing by 10. Brunner into the end zone. Danny Walters just got a piece of it and deflected it through the arms of Pittman.
Danny Pittman ready to do his slide on the sideline again. Sensed the opportunity for another touchdown. Ball just, I believe, just touched by Walters as he leaped for it. You'll see for yourselves here. Gets up and just off his fingertips, deflecting the ball enough to keep it out of Pittman's hands. The youngster dodged a bullet there. Woof.
Rams have added to their lead, 21-10 in the fourth quarter. Well, Pittman, former Wyoming Cowboy, he almost lassoed his second touchdown, but Walters' fingernails were just long enough. 2nd and 10.
The blitz.
Brunner. Mulledy. Tom Mulledy, his first touchdown of the season, and the Giants pull to within 4.
It's been a long afternoon for the Chargers secondary. Don Coryell knows that his troops have been hurt, wounded, playing their hearts out. They came with a blitz. Brunner able to slide to the outside. Head-to-head, Elko out there kept him from running the ball. He fired it deep, put it right in the hands of number 81, Mulledy. Big, big play.
Haji Sheik with the extra point try. And the Charger lead is carved to a field goal at 34-31. Scott Brunner, 27 for 40 today, 340 yards, no interceptions, and this his 3rd touchdown throw. Boy, off balance, looped it up there and right into the basket of Mulladay. A 3-point game. Zeke Mowat, apparently injured early in the game, did not return, and Tom Mulladay with 3 catches and now has a touchdown. It's 34-31. Kickoff to Brooks at the 4-yard line. Mike Dennis at the 20, and Larry Flowers is lucky he didn't pick up a penalty for piling on, as he really came in with a little forearm. It'll be first down, San Diego at the 20. Let's go back to the touchdown, Merlin.
You almost sense here that Brunner would rather have run this football than throw it. But at the last minute, he retreated, launched it high and deep, and he couldn't have put it more accurately into the hands of number 81, Tom Mulladay. What a pretty play.
Incredible throw. Now the Chargers with the ball with 10 minutes, 9 seconds left. Ed Luther for the injured Dan Fouts is the quarterback. To Winslow, only 4 yards. Winslow hit, tried to get to his feet, but Mark Haynes was all around him. Haynes, the All-Pro from Colorado, #1 pick in 1980 for the Giants.
Because of all the passing, this game's stretching on, but I don't believe you're going to see anybody running for the exits. They've got them here. And
34-31. It certainly has been most entertaining. Dan Fouts injured in the third quarter, forced to leave. Ed Luther drove his team to a touchdown on the first possession. Second down and 6. Screen to Chandler. Finds an opening, and he's all the way to the 47-yard line. Oh, that Wes Chandler in the open field. He is a beauty to watch.
When Wes Chandler came to San Diego to replace John Jefferson, a lot of uproar about this young man, that they said the one thing he can do better than any other receiver in football is run after the catch. And you see it right there. Tremendous courage, acceleration, the instincts of a running back. Made big yardage after the catch.
Well, he's such a tough, at 180 pounds, that one tackle should have brought down most 180-pound receivers, but not Chandler. Stayed on his feet, gained 10 more. He's wide to the right, Joyner to the left. First down, Charger 47. Luther guns it complete to Sievers at the Giant 48-yard line. Lawrence Taylor, number 56. Big play Taylor in on the tackle. 5 yards on the play, and Taylor was shaken early and limping again.
We had him off to the side one time earlier in the game. Looks like it possibly could be a hamstring or something high up in the back of that. Maybe a pull, perhaps.
Ed Luther, 2nd and 5. 8 minutes left in the game. Chargers lead 34-31. Under pressure, unable to get it to Wes Chandler. A flag is down where you would suspect holding against San Diego.
Very few penalties on either offensive line today, and let's give these offensive linemen credit. One of the basic ingredients for a good passing game, good pass protection, and both teams have protected their passers well today. I think particularly impressive for the Giants, whose offensive line has been much maligned here in New York.
Yeah, those are Rich Humphrey, the center, Billy Yard, and J.T. Turner, the guards. Turner, a movie star, by the way. We'll get to that later. Brad Benson and Gordon King, the tackles. 62 offense, holding, still second down. It's Don Masick, the center of the Chargers. Veteran Doug Wilkerson out with a broken arm, returning to the Charger lineup is at left guard. Ed White between them. They have 29 years of NFL experience. Andy Gissinger and Billy Shields, the tackles. Second, 15, intercepted. Beasley Reese. Ed Luther runs him out of bounds, and here come the Giants. inside the San Diego 27.
This can kill you. The mistakes. Young man just did not see Beasley Reese. Reading the receiver and the defender running with him, Kellen Winslow, did not see Reese.
Give to Carpenter. And he bolts his way to the 20. The Giants, down by 3, are already in field goal range, but looking for a touchdown that would give them the lead. They have not led in this game, have trailed by as much as 17 at 20-3 back in the second quarter. It's now 34-31 San Diego.
Charger defense been pressured and stretched, having to work with makeshift combinations. They're badly hurt. Let's see if they have enough character to stop the Giants here.
Brunner trying to gun another touchdown throw to Ernest Gray. Just a little high and wide. 3rd and 4.
Brunner would like to add to the statistics of what must be his best game ever as a pro. Had an open receiver, got the ball there, but just over the outstretched fingers of Ernest Gray.
So a big call here on 3rd down, and they'll make it 3. Actually, it's a long 3. They have to get inside the 21. 'Haji Sheikh will come in to try to tie it up for the Giants. We have a final and late game. New Orleans has upset Miami 17-7. A big win for the Saints against Don Shula's Dolphins.
You had to wonder if they were going to be able to come back after that tragic loss last week to the Dallas Cowboys. They did it today.
Haji Sheikh, who has kicked 8 in a row, trying to tie it up at 34. It would be a 37.5-yard attempt. Minutes, 53 seconds left. We start all over, tied at 34. 34, 6 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Ali Sheikh's fan club is here, of Iranian descent. He nails one to Brooks at the Charger 2. And Brooks is down at the 22. Paul Davis, just acquired by the Giants from the Atlanta Falcons, made the tackle. Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen, we welcome those of you who have seen the New Orleans Saints upset the Miami Dolphins 17-7. Do you like offense? Well, do we have a game here at Giant Stadium? The Chargers and the Giants back and forth, 34 all. Dan Fouts was injured, left the game in the third quarter. Ed Luther, who has seen rare duty, now facing a tough Giant defense, although they've given up 34 today, and a noisy crowd of 76,000. Chargers ball at the 22, 6:44 left in the game. Going deep, Charlie Joyner at the 45 of the Giants. And you have to say this for Don Coryell. He just has obviously told Luther, let's go right for something big, and they get it to Joyner, 32 yards.
And you've got to admire Ed Luther. After an interception that tied the game up, got 3 points for the Giants. He comes right back, throws it down the seam to the veteran Charlie Joyner. They pick up the big first down. They move into Giant territory, and Luther has played well, except for his one mistake, the interception.
First down at the Giant 45. Only Muncie behind Luther. Muncie sweeping left. And big Chuck Muncie barrels down to the 36-yard line. A 9-yard pickup. 5:51, 5:50, 5:49 left in the game. Giants have 34, and so do the Chargers. The Giants have never led. In fact, San Diego built a 20-3 lead in the middle of the second quarter. It was 27-10, and then just before halftime, with 6 seconds left, Brunner hit Pittman on a 40-yard touchdown to make it 27-17. Giants have rallied to tie at 34. Ralph Brunnerska, the field goal kicker for the Chargers. Muncie to the 34-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. Veteran Brad Dan Fouts from Michigan State made the tackle.
One of the problems that a backup quarterback always has, especially in a system that relies so heavily on the timing of a Dan Fouts, he never gets much practice time. And you kind of get the feeling in this ball game that Luther is a little rusty on some of the basics. He missed the snap earlier in the game. Luckily, it was recovered by Ed White. He also has had a chance to show us a few interesting handoffs. I would hope he wouldn't drop one on the ground here.
First down at the 34. Almost intercepted as Van Pelt tipped the ball right into a crowd, but no one saw it. Dan Fouts, who started the game with an injured thumb on his throwing hand, a painful wrist injury on the left side, and then left the game with a right shoulder injury, has not returned. We don't see him on the sidelines. Undoubtedly is watching back in the training room of the Chargers and rooting for his substitute, Ed Luther from San Jose State.
Coryell is intense as ever on the sideline. There was the shot from earlier. You could sense the pain. That was before he went to the locker room earlier.
2nd and 10. It's Muncie with a big hole, and Muncie might go all the way. He does. Touchdown. And did you see little Charlie Joyner downfield throw the final block, shielding the last Giant and allowing Muncie an avenue down the sideline?
And the first man to reach, Chuck Muncie, in the corner of the end zone, the man who threw that block for him, and you feel instant quiet in Giants Stadium.
Muncie's 3rd running touchdown today, 34 yards. That quiets the crowd. I'd hate to recap the scoring in this game. We'd be here till 8:30.
Here's a chance to watch a great run. Watch Muncie run out of one tackle, a second tackle. Now watch the block right there. Number 18, Charlie Joyner, springing him.
Benerska hits the extra point, and with 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the 4th quarter, the Chargers are back in front by 7. You see it again. Ed White is 67.
57 right there. Byron Hunt, the first man to miss him. 28. Beasley Reese, a shot at him. 46.
Mike
Dennis down here had a chance. He was too busy looking at Charlie Joyner. Never did see the runner.
Excitement, they're wearing out their hands here. You know, the Giants trailing, get the ball. 41-34 the score.
John Tuggle, last man drafted. First man with the ball here. Good return.
Former California player, 335th in the draft. There's the scoring drive. 5 plays, 77 yards. Muncie with a payoff, rushing for the touchdown. It's first down now, Giants, and their turn at their own 31-yard line. Scott Brunner could well be his biggest day as a pro, but he trails by 7. He's going for the bomb. And it's intercepted. Danny Walters with a relatively easy interception. Mike Miller, 89, was the intended receiver. And San Diego has the ball with 4:14 left. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Giants and the National Football League is prohibited.
5 Giant turnovers, 4 Charger turnovers, a heavy number of fumbles, and in part caused, I think, by a slick football. We had a great deal of rain early in the ball game, but big turnovers on interceptions late. One by Luther, and of course that big turnover to Danny Bird, rookie left corner, who got himself in front of that one comfortably. Not a good pass by Brunner. He has thrown some beautiful passes today. That was not a good pass.
Was Gilbert's first pro interception. At the 24. Muncie gets a couple and will chew on the clock. 4:05 left. Here are all the other scores for you. Washington beat the Raiders 37-35. Chicago wins 31-14 against Denver. Dallas rallies to beat Minnesota 37-24. Pittsburgh won 17-10 at home against Houston. Seattle at Cleveland. It was the Seahawks 24-9. San Francisco bombed New England 33-13. Philadelphia outscored Atlanta 28-24. New Orleans has beaten Miami 17-7. Green Bay 55-14, winning against Tampa Bay 49 points in the first half. And it was Baltimore winning at Cincinnati 34-31. Luther to Chandler. And good coverage by Dennis. Incomplete down at the Giant 30.
Both offensive coordinators reaching for a big play out of the hat. Luther getting his down the sideline. And ball was out of bounds when it was touched by Chandler. Not much chance. Good coverage on the play by the Giants. 3rd and about 8 yards to go. Giants making a few changes. Van Pelt out. 79 Hardison out. They put Martin in to rush the passer.
Gamey call by Coryell, Merlin, to
Gamey
go.
Call, yeah.
He could chew on the clock. Instead, he stops the clock with the incomplete pass as he went for the bomb.
Well, he may second guess that call later on.
Well, doing what they did. He throws to Joyner, and a flag is down. Byron Hunt was all over Ed Luther.
And we probably got a holding call there. They'll be refused because it'll bring up a 4th down. They'll kick the ball away, and the Giants are going to have another chance to shine here, Dick.
And because of the try at the pass, there'll be plenty of time for Bill Parcells' offense. 3:19 left. In comes Leon Bright.
Do you go after the kick here? You try and block it. You look up at the clock. Got a lot of room. You don't want to make a mistake and give the ball back to San Diego. I think you take your chances with Leon Bright.
Leon Bright just activated for this game. Bill Parcells very fond. He's known him since a youngster. Recruited him when Parcells was an assistant at Florida State. Buford only his 2nd punt today. Bright, who has helped to win 3 games in 2 years with his kick returns, he gets a chance here, and it's a short kick.
Bad kick. No
37. Flag down. Bright is to the 49, but there is a flag down at the 44-yard line. Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen, Giants Stadium. Rained early, very pleasant evening, and it's been a delightful presentation by these two teams who have refused to stop one another. 41-34 the score. First camera will follow as soon as we complete this game at Giants Stadium.
The way these two teams are playing, that may be quite a while, Dick.
Illegal block in the back. Number 37 on the run back. First down.
Larry Flowers. And so the Giants will start from their 35-yard line. There is a timeout. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left. The Giants have the ball, and a touchdown would tie it at 41. 6,000 sellout. Some folks elected not to come out, and they missed the honey. From the 35, the Giants will begin with 3:07 left in the game, trailing 41-34. Brunner. He goes short to the 43-yard line. What are your thoughts, Merlin, with 3 minutes to go?
We build this game as a classic matchup between great offense, the San Diego offense, great defense, the Giants defense. It may have boiled down to Giant offense against Charger defense in the final few minutes. A Charger defensive team that has been hurt. They've got 5 rookies on the field, 2 of their safeties, regular safeties, out of the ball game with injuries. And it's a match now of heart. 4th quarter, it's all down to this.
2nd and 2. Were fortunate there. That ball bouncing free and dangerously close to an interception by Gilbert.
A game of inches and fractions of inches, and Gilbert was wishing his arms were about 4 inches longer on that play. You can empathize with the youngster who's had some tough sledding in his rookie campaign, but came up with a big interception here early, and that one bounced out of his hands. He wishes he could go back and get a hold of that one more time.
Brunner had Gray open, just overshot him. 3rd down and 2. the San Diego 49 with a first down. Stops the clock with 2:19 left. Ken Green, former Cardinal.
Matter of determination, courage. Carpenter does not have a big day. He comes off 3 back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. But the Giants have been a throwing team today. Out of character, perhaps, but very successful. I think they may have thrown away the book. Felt they had to go to the air to match the Chargers.
Flag is down. We may have holding. Tackle made by Mike Green of Woolfolk at the Charger 44, but the penalty is against the Giants.
Chargers would like to put pressure on Brunner. They've got 3 men on the field rushing, occasionally blitzed, but with all the changes and injuries in their defensive backfield, they're scared of isolating their people one-on-one. They've had to try and get the pressure with their defensive linemen, and just 3 at a time. That's tough.
Number 60 offense, holding, still first down.
Brad Benson, the left tackle, Penn State. They played here yesterday and had a win against Rutgers. Bill Parcells, we asked him about those coaches that had influenced him most. The first name that came out was not a football coach. He said Bob Knight, a coach there at football when Knight was the basketball coach. And I've always sought out his advice, and wisely so. Carpenter at the 46-yard line. Of course, that's short yardage after the penalty. You saw the final. Check on that one again. 2-minute warning. They have 2 minutes left. The Giants have the ball. 2nd down and 15 with San Diego leading by 7. For the injured Dan Fouts, and those are impressive numbers despite the 1 interception. He came on the field his first series, drove his team to a touchdown when it appeared everything was crumbling for San Diego. Luther is an avid cyclist. He has ridden a bicycle from Seattle all the way to Los Angeles. He's just trying to do a little more pedal work here at Giant Stadium and give the Chargers a necessary win. They're 1-3 coming in here today. Brunner, meanwhile, is trying to rally the Giants to a tie. 2 minutes left. 2nd and 15, all day to throw. Ernest Gray picks it off at the 36-yard line of San Diego. 18 more for Gray and a Giant first down.
Again, good protection. You can't give a quarterback this kind of time. Ernest Gray goes out, dips in behind Missler right there. Mike Green, number 58, turned his back on the quarterback. He's got to get over there, get his hands up.
1:25 left. The clock is running. Brunner going on top to Miller. Oh my, it should have been intercepted by Gil Bird, but Bird let it get away. Not a good throw by Brunner. He's glad to get it back.
Brunner's had a couple of bad passes in this half. 1 interception, and this one should have been intercepted. Bird, I think, so relieved that he was going to have a shot at it rather than Pittman that he let it get out of his hands, and he ends up diving into the photographers there and rolling up on a big, long zoom lens.
Bird, a mentally tough, very bright Herman Alexander type is the way he was described by Fouts.
Good news from the locker room. Dan Fouts has a bruise, a muscle bruise on the shoulder, and not a separation.
2nd and 10. Open. John Missler. First down at the 11. Timeout, Giants. Missler comes up limping after a 24-yard catch. Brunner calling time with 1:10 left.
The drama builds. You'll get a chance to feel this one coming right into your lap. A toss right there. Missler across the middle. Ken Green, 28, gets a piece of him. Missler goes to the sideline limping, but he has the first down. He puts the ball on the 12-yard line. New York Giants down by 7 with an opportunity to score.
Brunner Threw 51 passes last year, the most ever for him in an NFL game. He's thrown 49 times today, completing 31. As you see, Missler catching 8 of those. And it's first down, Giants at the 12. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. A touchdown and extra point would tie the game at 41.
Just looking ahead a little bit, Dick. Minute 10 left in the game. Chargers gave up one of their timeouts early. Fouts pushed out of the game. Luther made a mistake on the formations. 2 timeouts left for the Giants.
This crowd of nearly 74,000 ready to roar again. The Giants were once behind 20-3. Just get enough of the ball, deflecting it incomplete.
Bill Parcells said early that John Missler is the guy you want to go to in the clutch. He has great hands and he can get open. You see it there. You talked about Gil Bert's fingernails early, or was it Danny Walters? Well, Bert's fingernails just barely long enough to tip that ball away there.
1:04 left. Intercepted as Brunner, his arm was hit as he delivered the ball. That's where the Giants want to put it, but in the possession of a man in a blue uniform. It's 3rd down and 10 at the 12. That was his personal record tying 51st pass today.
And as the Giants have come down toward the end zone, the amount of field they have to work with shrinks. The Chargers able to blitz to try and get additional pressure on Brunner. They've done it twice. The last 2 plays, both blitzes. Perhaps they'll be coming again.
Exactly a minute left. Chargers lead by 7. Blitz again. And that might be ruled a fumble. Let's see. Yes, it is. It is ruled a fumble. That quarterback, Scott Brunner, just let the ball drop out of his hand. And San Diego, on a freak recovery, perhaps will survive.
And Parcells is absolutely stunned on the other sideline. Young rookie went over and wisely covered the football. It looked to me that the passing motion actually started, but the ball slipped out of Brunner's hand. I don't believe Billy Ray thought that was a fumble. He just covered it. Look at him. He just kind of trotting away with it. Of course, he cannot advance it, but look at that. He's absolutely thrilled.
So the ball goes to the Chargers at the 20-yard line, and Ed Luther will just try to sit on the ball and run out the final 52 seconds. The Giants have 2 timeouts left, and will spend 1 now. So it appeared that the Giants rolling toward a game-tying touchdown, and Brunner losing his grip on the football. A most unusual fumble, the 5th today by the Giants, all 5 recovered by San Diego, and the Chargers needed those 5 turnovers to survive in a 41-34 game.
Chargers only had recovered 4 fumbles on the season, Dick. They've gotten 5 today. Absolutely difficult to comprehend the kind of frustration that must exist for Bill Parcells, who felt, I think, that his team was on the verge of getting back into this ball game with a touchdown. And what an interesting way. It really did come down ultimately to the Giant offense against the San Diego defense, and well, they came up with a big play when they needed it.
Tom Bass saying, way to go. We held them to 34.
Well, they have been injured and hurt, and there's a man who had his big plays today. Muncie, big run down the sideline for a touchdown. You saw him getting the congratulations. 3 rushing touchdowns on the day.
Now Luther again, sit on the football. Giants call time. We want to thank our producer Larry Cirillo, our director Ted Nathanson, all the folks at NBC Sports. It's been a dizzying game for everyone. Michael Weissman, our executive producer, coordinating producer Ted Nathanson, produced by Larry Cirillo this game and directed by Ted Nathanson. All the rest of our folks, Bill Tovey, technical director. Our newlywed, John Libretto, associate director. John Filippelli, producer of NFL 83. All the folks that have made another big day on NBC. What a doubleheader for those. Most of you in the country saw the doubleheader. The Raiders at Washington. That was a Redskin win, 37-35. And this, the second half of the doubleheader. Boy, you really need a calculator to figure out how many points you saw in just 2 football games.
And heart-stopping, emotional surges back and forth for both of these teams. Bruce Laird, one of the beleaguered defenders for the San Diego Chargers. They operated under some real tough constraints today. Injuries to their 2 starting safeties, 5 rookies on the field.
2 games, 147 points to be exact. Our thanks to Joe Costanza, helping the booth, Owen Tunney, Kevin McEwen, Steve Dolgercio, Bill Spellman. The Giants can't stop the clock now, and it's academic, 20 seconds left.
Well, the Chargers said they were desperate, Dick. They couldn't come out of this ballpark without a victory and hope for a playoff spot. Right now, they have their victory apparently in hand. There's a concern on the sideline for the health of their quarterback, Dan Fouts, but Ed Luther has proved himself to be a capable replacement. And I'm sure their defense, in spite of the adversity and the number of points on the board, has grown tremendously under the adversity of today.
Actually, the game has not ended yet. There's no time left on the clock, but actually, I believe there's a second remaining as Gene Barth. An agonizing 1 second remaining for Bill Parcells, because with a delay of game, it only delays the anguish, extends the anguish for the Giants, who now will be 2-3, as will be the Chargers. And it could well be that, well, there's no need for Luther to take a safety here. He just needs to successfully take the snap from center. But it is a strange quarterback-center combination. The ball is wet. Ask Scott Brunner. And we better wait for that final snap. There has been the miracle of the Meadowlands when the Giants stole one against the Eagles a couple of years ago.
Yeah, there certainly was. What anguish for a young man who was on the verge of perhaps his most exciting day as a pro quarterback, and all to have it slip away in a single moment.
Well, the story today, the offense almost unstoppable. The teams had to stop themselves, and the Chargers prevail 41-34. One of the preseason favorites to get to the Super Bowl. They were ever so close to going 1-4. They fly home to San Diego, back in contention, because the leaders in their division, the Raiders, had lost earlier to the Redskins. Meanwhile, Bill Parcells and the Giants have seen Washington win again today, and so did Dallas. So the Giants' job remains tough and a long day for Brunner.